Good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started here. We'll go ahead and ask all the candidates and such. They'll go ahead and take their place here behind the stage. We'll be bringing you guys out here in just a little bit. Thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Roy Pettaway. I'm the Hardee County Chamber of Commerce President. We welcome you to our candidate forum here this evening. Tonight's event is being live streamed on Facebook, so it's right here in the middle. So if you do get up, just be aware of that in the middle of the aisle right there. We'd like to take the opportunity to thank our event sponsor tonight, Senator Ben Albrecht. We'd also like to thank the Hardee County BOCC for allowing us the usage of the Civic Center here tonight. So let's give them a round of applause. We hope that you've enjoyed some of the live refreshments we had from Chef Andrew of Advent Health. We'd like to also a big thank you to our annual community partners, Mosaic and Advent Health Wauchula. So let's give them a round of applause also. Just a couple of cleanup items here for you. Let's not forget that our next member luncheon is on the 22nd. And on December 7th, we're going to have our Country Christmas Parade and Santa's Workshop. So put that on your calendar. At this time, we're going to ask our 2024 Junior Leadership Hardee Ambassador and current Miss Hardee County, Lena Canary, to come up and lead us with our pledge.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, and then next up we're going to have Weston Trott lead us in our prayer.
Please bow your heads. Dear Father, thank you for just letting us come here tonight and gather. I pray that you'll keep everyone in this room safe and bless this food. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Weston. The Chamber's Board of Directors and our Executive Director, Lacey Webb, are very passionate about supporting our business community. We value the fact that the Chamber is a trusted resource to help boost our members' visibility and credibility. When our members succeed, our Chamber succeeds. We are always looking for new and innovative ways to meet those needs of the Chamber. The Hardee Chamber continues to implement our strategic planning goals and feels that tonight's event allows us to bring government, community, and business together. I encourage you that if you're not already a Chamber member, we encourage you to join today. The benefits you receive are many, and we welcome the opportunity to meet with you and discuss all these benefits in detail. The Chamber believes that sharing ideas, working as a team, and supporting one another is a key to achieving success here in Hardee County. We hope that you walk away from tonight's event better informed about the candidates and for the future of our county. In the interest of being unbiased, I would like to introduce our guest moderator tonight, Ms. Kelly Nesland. Kelly is the President and Chief Executive Officer for the Give Well Community Foundation, serving Polk, Highlands, and Hardee counties. Her public affairs experience spans nearly 2 decades and includes extensive work in corporate philanthropy and government affairs. She currently serves on the board of the Lakeland Economic Development Council, United Way of Central Florida, and Catapult Lakeland. She's an elder at the First Presbyterian Church in Lakeland. Her past leadership roles include working with volunteers in service to the elderly, the Junior League of Greater Lakeland, Engage Bartow, Leadership Polk Class 7, Inside Polk County Public Schools, and Connect Florida. Callie, it's all yours.
Well, thank you. It is a pleasure to be here tonight in Hardee County. Just thinking about 4 years ago, we were doing this virtually, and so it's nice to see so many people in person. Actually, I think we're hybrid. We're live streaming as well, so you can have it both ways. But we have a wonderful program tonight. Kudos to the Chamber of Commerce for putting this on. We have almost all of our races are represented, and this is certainly a key part of how the Chamber's voter education efforts. And so I want to thank everybody that submitted questions in advance. You'll hear those throughout the program tonight, and for being here and being informed voters. So a little bit about how it will work. Our candidates will be given 3 minutes for introductions, and so that is their prepared remarks to introduce themselves, to lay out their platform. Candidates for each race will then be asked prepared questions that we compiled. The Chamber solicited those from the membership, from the public, so those have been chosen in advance, and the candidates have not seen the questions. During the Q&A, each candidate will have 90 seconds to answer them. The incumbent will present second for introductions, and then for flow and efficiency first for Q&A. So this is your friendly reminder. Please turn off your phones if you need to step out for a call. Also that we certainly want to treat everybody with respect and dignity. It takes quite a bit to throw your hat in the ring and to run for public office, which is so admirable. So if we can not hoot and holler, that would be wonderful. And without further ado, we are going to start tonight with our school board, District 2, and we have Mildred Smith is our incumbent. Mildred, why don't you come on out and introduce yourself? Oh, you've got a mic over there.
Can't hear you.
I'm not sure it's on. Do we?
I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for letting us speak tonight. My name is Mildred Carter Smith. I grew up on 66, about 5 miles out of Zoffo. I went to Zoffo Elementary School. Then I went to the junior high and the high school here. And then I entered the South Florida Junior College in 1968. I spent a year and a half there. I went to FSU for a year and a half, and I came back to teach at Hardee Junior High School. And then my assistant principal asked me to take a master's class with her, and that's when I started on my degree there, and I finished that going 1 night a week and 2 summers. I also painted at the junior high, and I would change clothes and go to USF. A lot of teachers were painting the schools back then. I taught for 37 and a half years at the junior high and Watchul Elementary, and I've been on the school board since 2008. I have one son, Joseph Brent Smith. He's a lawyer in north of Orlando in Winter Park and the Maitland area. He has 3 children, and he has 2 stepchildren. So I have actually 3 grandsons and 2 step-grandchildren. My platform is about the same as last time. I want to continue to have safe schools. It's very important that we do everything we can to keep our students and our staff safe. Also, we need to work on, we have hired people to come here to do mental health counseling for our students, but I think we need to do that for the staff also. After you listen to some of the news about the shootings in other areas, some of our teachers may get to school, and when they sign in, they may panic, wondering what's going to happen that day, and I think we need to be able to provide them with some counseling or just someone to talk to so they can get their mind right to be able to teach that day, because we never know when we're going to be having panic attacks. I'm going to continue with the CTE classes, the career and technical education. We have a lot of classes going on at the high school where kids can get their industry certificates and go out straight to work to join the workforce, which a lot of kids would like to do. They don't want to go to college, and we need to prepare them in any way that we can, whether they want to go to technical school or college or just go get a job. Our STEM classes we have at the high school, we need to change that into STEAM, S-T-E-A-M, where we include the arts. It's been proven that the theater arts has been increases the literacy skills and the math skills. And we've known for a long time that music helps with the math skills.
Stay right here because I've got some questions for you. And anything you didn't get to, you can work into your questions. We have 90 seconds for each question. First one, what is the largest challenge facing the Hardee County public school system? And what role do you as a board member feel you can play in mitigating that challenge?
Our greatest challenge today is our declining enrollment in the public schools. And that happened during COVID. The pandemic changed everything for us. We had 3 different ways that our students could get their education. The high school had 4 different ways. And since the students were home most of the time, I feel like they like to be at home. And we've always had homeschoolers, and that's wonderful also. I mean, parents need to decide what they want, how they want to educate their children. It's their decision, it's their child. And I do feel like that the homeschool children are well prepared if the parents are involved in their education. If you put them in the corner with a workbook or on the computer and you don't really know what they're doing on the computer, I don't feel like they're getting the best education. But the homeschool parents that I know in Hardee County, they're doing a great job, and it's been proven that they do as well or better in college and the workforce as the regular public school. But I do think we need to get back to try to get our kids to come back to the public school if they're not being homeschooled like they should be, or if they're not going to a great private school. Because we need to educate all of our children. So if they're not getting it at home or private school, then they need to get back in school. Plus, we're losing money on that also, which we need. The state gives $8,000 to wherever, for any child, whether it's homeschool or private school or whatever. Okay.
All right, great answer. Next question. How do you define the role of school board, and how will you prioritize addressing the aforementioned challenges?
The school board member should be out there to help everyone, and that means help the superintendent, help the directors, help the principals, help the students, help the parents. Our job is to do the best we can to make sure that the integrity of the classroom they're getting the best that they can get, and our job is to do the best that we can on that and support everybody and not cutting people down and not saying, they're not doing anything. We just need to be positive and just do the best that we can to help everyone. And we do have this is a biggie with me. Teachers are not paid as much as they should be paid, and that's not the school board member's fault at all. It's all political. It all comes from Tallahassee. I personally think, we do have a shortage of teachers all over the nation. I tried to get Dr. Polk to tell me that she's going to bring some people down from Duval County, because my sister taught in Duval County, and she texted me a while back and said 700 positions were cut and they're closing schools. And she didn't say 700 teachers, she just said positions, and I wonder why we couldn't get some of those teachers that need a job up there to come down here and help us. And Dr. Polk wouldn't tell me that. We're trying to grow our own. We're trying to use our students that are in college to be teachers. We're putting them in a little ahead of time. And we also have teachers that are from out of the country here teaching with us. So we need money, and we need students, and we need teachers. Thank you.
Well said. Thank you very much, Mildred. Appreciate that. So I'll remind you, all of the candidates have tables, and so if there are other questions that you would like to ask them, I'm sure they'll be sticking around afterwards, and feel free to ask them to expand upon any of that. We're now going to move to our county commission races, and we're going to start with District 1. We have Tim Wells and Sandra Meeks, and I'm going to invite Tim to come out and do his introduction first. Here he is. Oh, you've got a mic.
You need to use the mic. Y'all hear me?
Especially for those live streaming.
Well, my name is Tim Wells. How we doing? Don't knock my time yet. My name's Tim Wells. I've lived in Hardee County most of my life. I'm married to Laura Bostick Wells. I have 2 of my daughters here today, Maddie and Bailey. I chose to get involved with the commission race because I feel like there's things that I can add to the commission. I'm uniquely qualified based on my 40 years of business experience, dealing with finance, dealing with all forms of business applications. I've helped multiple companies achieve their goals by showing them how they can take away some of their time and create a more effective business plan. As far as what I see in our county, infrastructure is probably the most important thing right now. Without the infrastructure in place, we cannot move forward. We can't grow. Next thing that comes in line is economic development. Without the infrastructure, very tough to be able to do things from an economic development perspective. Under that economic development, I think that we should do things that would help our agricultural industry, help our farmers, help them learn new ways, different ways to be able to stay in their business or others. We need small businesses to come in. We also need to have partnerships with people that can create jobs. Very important. I also think there's another component, education, and the development of our workforce is very important. Teaming with the schools, teaming with businesses to be able to train people to do various jobs. Land use. We really need to stick to and create a land use protocol so that we can grow as a county and not be behind as far as not having zoning correct or not having the proper things in place. Public safety and emergency, very important. Law enforcement, I believe that we should support efforts to enhance local law enforcement's capabilities and strengthen community and police relationships. I also feel that we need to support our local firemen and emergency services, very important. Social services, I believe we should promote our local programs that support family, people in need, and be an advocate for additional resources. This is the last one, folks. Local government. I feel like in our local government, in the commission, we should have transparency where people can see exactly what's going on. Thank you very much.
Excellent introduction. Thank you, Tim. You are welcome to stand for 7 minutes, or I'm going to invite Sandra to come over, do her introduction. We'll do her questions, and then invite you to come back to answer the same questions. Okay, feel free to take a seat. Yep, right here, and I'm going to give you this mic. Will you have one? Ready? Does it work? Yes, Sandra, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Sandra Meeks, and I'm your current County Commissioner for District 1. First of all, I want to thank the Chamber for having this event, and I want to thank all of you for coming out supporting it and getting to know your local candidates so you can make an informed decision when you go to vote. I'll provide a brief background of my history. I have lived in Hardee County most of my life. I graduated from high school in 1990 and attended South Florida State College in 1998. I am a Christian and I attend the First Baptist Church of Bowling Green. I have been married to my husband, Scott Meeks, for 24 years. I have 2 sons, John Gordon and Scotty Meeks, and 3 grandchildren, John Michael and Juliana Gordon and Hazley K. Meeks, and they are all here supporting me tonight. I work as the office manager for the Salvation Army and operate the food pantry, work with the homeless, and assist families that are struggling through financial difficulties. My government career began in 2003 at the Property Appraiser's Office. In 2005, I was hired as the office manager at the Board of County Commissioners, and I worked in that capacity for 15 years. I am proud of the accomplishments of the Board of County Commissioners since I was elected. We have approved major infrastructure projects. We have updated the 20-plus-year-old land development codes. We have addressed code enforcement ordinances. We have designated and approved certain areas now known as no-mine areas. We have implemented the county's first ever 5-year strategic plan. We have actively lobbied in Tallahassee for Hardee County funding, and this effort produced over $12 million for Hardee County citizens last year. I am the liaison for the Hardee County Community Recreation Complex, Healthy Hardee, Coastal and Heartland National Estuary Partnership, Transportation Disadvantage, and I'm the alternate for the Heartland Regional Transportation Planning Organization and the Value Adjustment Board. Additionally, I have also completed the Certified County Commissioner Training and the Advanced County Commissioner Training Level 1. I support revitalization of our community, infrastructure innovation, prioritizing job creation, and local businesses. I am seeking re-election because we have accomplished so much these past 3.5 years, and we still have a lot to do. I have developed a passion to serve and know what it takes to be a good public servant and placing you, the public, first. Like I told the Republican Executive Committee last month, I tackled a very popular two-term commissioner in 2020, and I won the election by 1 vote. So if you ever wonder if your vote counts, I'm living proof that it does. In closing, I love Hardee County, and I love serving you, the citizens. So please vote for me on August 20th so I can continue to work with you and for you to move Hardee County forward. Thank you.
Wow, perfect timing. Thank you so much. First question. Rural counties face very unique challenges. With Florida's growing population and increased expenses, what do you think the top policy priority should be for Hardee County?
For Hardee County, our top priority is infrastructure. We have focused on that for the last several years. We are putting in water and sewer. We are focusing on our roads. We are very unique, and we have the Economic Development Authority that receives severance tax monies annually. And we have used those monies for the past several years to put in infrastructure. So that's what we have been focused on.
What vision do you have for Hardee County over the next 10 years, and what strategies will you pursue to help achieve that vision?
The vision that I have for Hardee County, like I stated in my opening comments, we adopted our first ever 5-year strategic plan. And in our plan, we are focusing on housing, infrastructure. So those are the main things that we are focusing on to move Hardee County forward.
Thank you. 30 seconds left. Any closing remarks?
I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out and supporting this event. It is very important that you get to know your local candidates to make an informed decision when you vote. Please call me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm always open for any suggestions or anything that you may have. I work for you. I always have and I always will. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Wells, you're back there. Same questions. Yes, sir, and I'll repeat them. All right, first question for you is about the nature of rural counties. We face very unique challenges, and with Florida's growing population and increased expenses, what do you think the top policy priorities should be for Hardee?
Well, I agree with Ms. Meeks that infrastructure is one of the utmost important things that we can work on and deal with to help make the future, or help with the future of our county. I also feel like that we should engage our community, you folks out there, to where if you'll call us, if you'll meet with us, if you'll let us know what you want and what you need, then we can work together as a team to make things happen. I really feel that we should be more proactive than reactive. And I believe in the past, the commission, not point to any individual, but I believe we've been more reactive. And now I think that we can head in a direction where we're proactive. I would really like for all of you to be active in our community and be willing to serve in whatever capacity that you can.
Great, thank you. What vision do you have for Hardee County over the next 10 years, and what strategies will you pursue to help achieve that vision?
Well, again, working with all of the entities to help with the infrastructure, but also working with economic development so that we can bring in qualified businesses and companies to do things. I know that's kind of been a negative in the past, and I agree with it. There's been some poor decisions that were made. There's been some good decisions that were made. I feel like that we should really take our resources and use them as much as, to the best that we can, and not just give our stuff away. Also, I believe that we should leverage every way we can to create more income sources to come in, whether it be through grants, whether it be through businesses that we're dealing with now. I think that there's something very dear to me as an educational component. I believe that we should work with the local high schools in developing programs that would allow students to have the CTE programs are great, but there's other things that we can do, and I would really like to see that.
Excellent. 20 seconds. Any closing comments?
20 seconds. Folks, I'm awful glad to be here. I'm thankful that I'm here. I missed some things on the beginning. I am a Christian. I believe that that's the reason why I'm running. I feel like that God has put it in my heart to be a servant. I serve at my local church along with my wife, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. That's for District 1 candidates. We'll now move to District 3. We have Donald Chancey Jr. and Renee Wyatt. So I'm going to invite Donald to come out first, and we will give you the floor. That'll work.
Good evening. My name is Donald Chancey. I'm a candidate for District 3, County Commissioner. I'm 61 years old, brand new, just 2 weeks ago. I've been fortunate to live in Hardee County by choice for 33 years. I've met a lady here, and she was from here, so this is where we raised our kids. 3 beautiful kids. And we loved the size of the school system. I came from a product of 1,440 kids my senior class. It's not a good environment to have that large of a school system. So my business is Chancey Design Group. I do building plans, house plans, DOT driveways, septic tanks, anything to do in the construction industry. And this area has been very good to me and my family. So basically now I'm trying to give back. I want to use my side, because I've always worked on the other side of government for the client. Now I want to work for you as your county commissioner. I know all the ins and outs about development, and there's a lot of things that other counties are doing that are good. Not everything other counties do are good, but there's a lot of things on development that needs to be implemented here to make it easier to grow. And infrastructure is one of them, but it's not always the most important. The biggest thing we hear is, well, what do you have to offer to move here? Well, is it a job? Is it recreation, retirement? People are looking for things in their life at different stages to be able to move. We need to be able to bring businesses here. I'm very pro-business because I've been in business for myself. We need those businesses to lay a foundation to where we can start bringing people here and retain those people, retain those businesses so that the population steadily grows. I don't want a boom town, but I want to grow. When I first moved here, there was about 25,000 people and my taxes were low. 33 years later, I got just about the same amount of people, but my taxes are 3 times what it was. And it's simple mathematics. No more people coming here, the cost of everything keeps going up. We're all going to pay more and more and more in taxes until those numbers increase. So I would like to have your consideration for a vote to be your representative, especially for District 3 and on the board, and I thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. You're welcome to speak. And Commissioner Wyatt, come on up. You are recognized for 3 minutes introduction.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Renee Wyatt, and just want to give you a little bit about myself, because some of you might not be familiar with my story, and some of you might be. I was born and raised in the United States Air Force. My father is a Vietnam veteran and my mother was a stay-at-home mom. And our parents raised us to be respectful to our country, to our flag, and to our military. And throughout the years, my respect for our country and our flag and our military stands strong to this day. My reign as a county commissioner here started 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago. When I first moved to this county in 1997, this county reminded me of what the military doesn't offer when you live growing up in the Air Force, traveling everywhere, new base every 3-4 years. Here in Hardee County, it was family oriented. It was, my friends' parents were still married. Their grandparents were still married. They sat down and had dinner on Sunday nights. Church, generations going to the same church. I loved it, fell in love with this county, and I've made it my home for 27 years. What I would like to tell you, since taking seat in 2020, is we've gone through astronomical changes with staff. So much that it has affected a lot of things. It has put a halt on a lot of things. We are trying to recover from that. We now have staff in place that are qualified in the fields that they're in. We still have some to do. We still have a lot to do. You're going to hear a lot about infrastructure because we don't have it. We don't have it because the boards before us didn't implement it, and we've needed it. Other counties are growing. Of course they're growing. But I can tell you just south of us, they're growing so fast, but I guarantee you they don't have the infrastructure to keep up. And if we don't keep up with that infrastructure before we implement a lot of other things, we will fall, we will fail. My goal then, today and tomorrow, is to keep the narrative of Hardee County native to its roots, because they have some really good roots here in Hardee County. Moving forward with cultivating infrastructure, development to ensure that we flourish. We have a very, very good strategic plan, effective plan in place. The framework is set, and we must continue to balance the plan for future growth and development. Thank you.
Great, thank you. 2 questions for you, then I'll come over to you. Donald, these may sound familiar. Rural counties face very unique challenges, Hardee being included. With our growing population and increased expenses, what do you think the top policy priorities should be?
Well, like I just said, if we don't implement this strategic plan and we don't follow through with it and we don't get this infrastructure, we are going to fail. Our economic situation in Hardee County is in dire need of infrastructure. If you haven't been to our meetings, if you don't watch our live stream meetings, and they are live, you can watch them. They're also on the website where you can go and view them later. If you're not keeping up with everything that the county has going, or the IDA, there's been a lot of talk about the IDA. We have so much in place that's coming that the most general public don't even know about because they're not informed about it. We're trying to inform you. So if we're going to continue and we're going to be fostering all of these different plans and all of these different businesses that are coming, we have to have that infrastructure. And if you don't know what infrastructure means, please call us. Call any one of us. Call all 5 county commissioners. Call our staff. Call our county manager. If you need to be informed on what's going on because you can't come to the meetings, please call us. I will be glad to meet with any of you.
Great. Why don't we roll into the next one? Your 10-year vision for the county and specific strategies or tactics to get there.
So, you'll hear me say about our meetings a lot. We have had multiple meetings, and by we, I can say, myself, I am the liaison on the IDA board. There are businesses that are attracted to Hardee County. So many businesses attracted to Hardee County. But there are things that we don't have that we need. So my 10-year plan is to try to get us those things that we need. We need a full functioning signal red light at 17 and 62. The state is going to put in a roundabout. That's not going to be until later 2028. This is not new. We've mentioned this in meetings. But until we get that, we need a full functioning signal red light there. Not just for safety, but there are businesses that are interested in the property surrounding that. But they won't come because we don't have the infrastructure. That's got to be our top priority. Infrastructure and economic.
Thank you very much. Any closing comments?
Sure. I have enjoyed my 3.5, almost 4 years as county commissioner. I was asked by a career coach what I love about it. And like in my opening statements, it's what Hardee County represents, the family. So the family, the sense of family. Like I said, when you grow up in the military, you move around so much, and then, my parents divorced when I was 13, so coming here, it was amazing. And if you look around in this room, I'm sure there's probably a couple different generations in here, or, sense of family even at church. I have enjoyed it. I'm in love with being a county commissioner. I don't think that anyone's going to do a better job than me in my seat, so I would appreciate your vote.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Chancey. Same questions to you. Top policy priorities for a rapidly growing county, rapidly growing area.
Number one, we have to look at the policies that the county has in all of its different departments: water and sewer, road and bridge. Infrastructure is very important, but there's different ways to do growth. I'll give you an example down in Charlotte and Lee. Part of the county, they just have water. You have to have water to grow. You don't need sewer right away. You can come back later and put sewer in. So we need a steady growth pattern that we can do as a county and be able to afford it. We have to be able to live within our means. Again, going back to the situation, you need the people and businesses to come here. I'm also thinking about the impact fees on commercial buildings. We've let millions of dollars walk out of this county because every other county has impact fees on commercial buildings. And I'll give you an example. The Walmart Plaza 25 years ago. The developer had $1 million to pay for impact fees. We don't have it. He just walked on to another county. So there's things that we need to look at, policy and procedure, in all aspects of development to grow.
Great, thank you. Expanding upon that kind of 10-year vision, any strategies or tactics that you would promote?
Well, the 10-year, and I've heard that, this is the first year we've had the strategic plan. No, it's not. They had it 25 years ago under Nick Stasko as the planning director. You put in your plan what the county wants to spend the money on. The problem is the commissions never spent the money. They allocated it, but they never spent it. So we need to do an allocation, targeted, and stick with it. We need to spend that minimum investment to start the growth. So over the next 10 years, yes, I believe that we can grow with smart decisions, smart investment, not everything all over the world trying to do this and do that, but targeted.
Any closing comments for you?
I've enjoyed this. I love government. I work with government every day, not just Hardee County, but all the surrounding counties in my business. I love government. I eat it, breathe it every day. And I want to basically the twilight of my life, I want to try and give back to this community that's been so good to me and my family. And I think I'm the most qualified person to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Here's your District 3 candidates. Perfect timing. We are moving on to our last county commission race. This is District 5. We have Kenny Miller and Judith Greenwell George. So I'm going to invite Kenny out first on this side for 3 minutes for opening comments. And here's your mic right here.
Thank you, Callie. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kenny Miller, and I want to be your next county commissioner in District 5. I'm a 50-year resident of Hardee County. The last 25 years I've lived out on Griffin Road. I've been married to my wife, Kelly, for the last 35 years. We have 3 children and 2 grandchildren. I'm a product of a Hardee County upbringing through the local school systems, Bowling Green, Wauchula, Hardee Junior High, and Hardee Senior High. I was very active in FFA growing up. My part-time job through high school and college was at the Hardee Livestock Market, and really that's where I got my education. I'm a graduate of South Florida State College and the University of South Florida. I've been in the phosphate industry for the last 41 years. In December of this year, I'll retire with a little over 42 years of experience in that industry. I've been in leadership positions. I actually started as an hourly employee, as an entry-level hourly employee back in 1982. So I worked my way from the bottom up through very many leadership positions. 2018 through 2022, I was a general manager of the Four Corners Mine and the Wingate Creek Mine. So big responsibility of people, budgets, all the things that go on with managing a business. I'm retiring at the end of the year. I had a young lady ask me if my retirement was going to be tied to Mosaic, thus that I could not vote on any phosphate issues. And I assured her that as of December 31st, I will have no ties with Mosaic anymore. I don't have a pension that's funded by them. So hopefully that answers some questions for you. I'm currently a member at First Baptist Church of Wauchula, and I'm an active deacon there. I recently joined Harvest Aviation as a board member and have served on other boards and civic groups in the past. So what's my why? Why do I want to do this? What a great place to live. I was raised here, and we raised my family here. I have 2 grandchildren that are growing up here. I believe this is the greatest place on earth to live and to raise a family. And it's due to the rural character of this county and of the deep sense of community pride that resides here. So everybody that lives in Hardee County, you know what I'm talking about. So where do we begin? What's my platform? And you start thinking about what does that look like? And really, y'all, we can't start by boiling the ocean and trying to figure out what are we going to do. We're going to have to focus on what are those critical issues that we need to address. And some of the other candidates have already talked about them. Agriculture is the fabric and the backbone of this community. I'd work towards maintaining that culture going forward. We need to support local small businesses and agriculture, which are both vital to the county's economy, along with ecotourism and expansion of recreational opportunities. I have others.
You can work those into the 2 questions. We're going to bring Judith out and let her do her introductory remarks and questions, and then I'll come to you with the same questions. So you're welcome to hang here, or you can go study backstage. Welcome, Judith. You're recognized for 3 minutes to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Judith George, and I'm seeking re-election for County Commissioner District 5. In 2020, I ran for County Commissioner at the encouragement of my husband. I thought he was wacky, but that was okay. He was a Vietnam vet who passed in 2019 as a result of Agent Orange. So in an effort to honor him, and also because I have always been a public servant, I decided to run and surprise. A little bit of background about me. Since I moved here in 1998, I did not grow up in Hardee County, but I grew up in a little town that I'm sure you've all heard of, Smyrna, Delaware, right? and it's tiny, but it's just like Wauchula. And I watched it grow. I left when I was 21. I lived in Broward and Palm Beach counties, so I've experienced city life. I moved here in 1998, and I will never live anywhere else. I started working with Hardee County in 2000. I was first in the HR department, which gave me an opportunity to see how things worked. I worked there for about a year, and then there was a brand new department, management and budget, it's called now, and I applied for that and was the first budget specialist. And then I was hungry to learn. So I then, a couple years later, 3 years later, I applied for the grants coordinator position. And I was grants coordinator for the county until I left in 2007. I had an opportunity, I was asked to apply to be executive director of Hardee Help Center. That was the most wonderful thing I've done in my life, except for being commissioner. I was there for almost 7 years, and I got an opportunity to serve the community, to meet a lot of people in this community that not only serve, but a lot of those that are underserved. I've also been part of many boards. I've served as chair and just as a member of the Hardee County Independent Indigent Healthcare Board, Drug Free Hardee, Hardee County Coalition for the Homeless, which is now in Heartland in Highlands County. I volunteered for the Story of Jesus folks for 24 years since I've been here, and with Sherry White Ministries for a few years until I ran for office. I would really like your vote. I'd like an opportunity to continue the long run that we've started out here. In my jobs with the county, I think there were 5 different commissions that I've worked with and interacted with. Okay. We are on a mission now. We have gotten to a place where we've set several goals, and we really need to be able to work together to complete them. We've got a lot of good candidates, but I really hope you'll consider voting for me for County Commissioner District 5.
Judith, when you talk about rural counties and some of their unique challenges, what are your top priorities for Hardee County? What do you think it should be?
One of the top priorities with Hardee, in my opinion, is industry and housing. And this is a beautiful place to live, and it I believe will continue to be, but if we don't have industry and jobs for the people that are here, we're not going to attract people, new people, and we're not going to, I have children, I have grandchildren, I'd like them to stay here forever, live here and continue on as happily as I have been. So those are my 2 main goals.
Building on that 10-year vision, what are your strategies or specific tactics that you think to achieve that 10-year vision?
We've actually put together this board. We have worked with some agencies to develop long-range goals, and they've been discussed at length in the meeting. So I would hope that folks would take the opportunity to look at our online meetings or to call county manager. There are a lot of pieces of that puzzle involved, but that's what we really need to do with the county. I've watched for years, I've watched boards come and go, and each board has a different idea, different purpose, but we're not on a sprint. We're on a long run here, and we really need to get to the end, and I'm very optimistic and very hopeful that we will.
Thank you for your answer. Any closing comments?
In closing, I'd like to echo what I've heard what we heard it this morning in the meeting. I'm really excited to see so many people here, and I'm really excited to see people, not always the way they ask questions, but people that have questions for us in the community. And again, every one of us have tables set up here. I've got my business cards. Please, please call us. It's not your commissioner, it's a commissioner. You can call any one of us, call the county manager, ask questions, get involved, serve on a board. You know, if you don't like something, we can't know if you don't tell us. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Over to you, Kenny. Let's talk about the unique challenges that rural communities face. What do you think top policy priorities should be?
Well, I mean, the other candidates have covered it very well. Infrastructure is key, but some of the other things that we have to go along with that, and infrastructure supports that, is economic diversification and development. Supporting local business and agriculture. You know, those are the foundation of our county and its business. Let's develop some programs that support small businesses and local agriculture. All those things are vital to our economy. We need to attract new industries. How are we going to expand our tax base so that we can lower taxes for residents? It's through attracting new industries that can broaden that tax base and spend capital to build assets into our county. Tourism and recreation. You know, we got the Peace River. It's a beautiful, it's a gem of a site that runs right through the middle of our county. It's gorgeous. So we've got tourism, recreation. We talked a little bit about infrastructure, affordable housing. Housing is a big need. That's how you attract employees to come here, is to have a place for them to live. So if you're going to build business, you got to have a place for people to live. So those are a couple of them. The other thing that's big to me is healthcare access. You know, we have some good PAs here in town and a hospital and such, but you know, to get specialty work, you've got to go out of town. So how do we attract more healthcare providers into Hardee County? It's through that growing of our community.
Well timed. Perhaps you want to talk on some strategies or specific tactics to pursue that 10-year vision and some of those priorities that you mentioned.
Very quickly, the development group has had this vibrant community training over the last couple of years. And that's what we want Hardee County to be, is a thriving community that attracts people and retains families that want to live here. So to me, that should be our 10-year vision, is a place where people want to live and stay here. So with that, I'm going to take the rest of my time and finish my intro, if that's okay. The last few bullets I have, we want to sustain our way of life here in Hardee County, but we've got to create good paying jobs, and we've got to provide an inventory of affordable housing. I work to lower property taxes through growing a tax base. We just talked about that, attracting new businesses, and then maintaining those legacy anchors that we have here in the county. New housing helps broaden that tax base. I work to devise smart growth initiatives and a regulatory framework that ensures that future growth is done sustainably and complements our rural culture. The biggest thing that we need, like Ms. George said, is your involvement. Community involvement is the most important aspect of our government. It's just not the polls that we go to. It is every day. We need to hear from the public as to what they want. Otherwise, you're going to hear from a few, and you're going to make decisions based on that. I look forward to serving you as the next county commissioner. I'll have the time, I'll have the talent, and I'll have the energy to give the job, the effort that it deserves. This is something that I want to do, and I want to give back to this great county. Thank you, County.
Thanks, Kenny. Your District 5 candidates. All right, with that, we are moving out of County Commission, and we are going to our Supervisor of Elections. We have two candidates here, Jessica DeFoor and Diane Smith. So I will invite Jessica to join on the right side of the stage. Welcome. You've got 3 minutes for an introduction.
Hello, Hardee County. My name is Jessica DeFoor, and it's both an honor and a privilege to stand before you as the Republican candidate for the Supervisor of Elections. The right to vote is a cherished privilege, and my commitment is to ensure that every vote is counted with integrity and transparency. My journey in election services began here in Hardee County as your Chief Deputy Supervisor. I later served as an Operations Support Assistant at the Polk County Supervisor of Elections Office. This gave me an opportunity to serve in both a small and large county and expand my knowledge and skills. These experiences, combined with a background in business management, have deepened my understanding and respect for public service. My vision for Hardee County is to enhance voter engagement and ensure that our elections are conducted fairly and efficiently. We face challenges, but we also have opportunities to improve our systems, educate voters, and boost participation. I propose fostering a positive office environment through collaboration to retain skilled employees and providing comprehensive training. I also plan to use approaches like social media, updating our website, and mobile apps to make voting and candidate information easily accessible. We should partner with schools and revive initiatives like student council elections and Vote for a Veteran. By engaging directly with students and teaching them about the importance of voting, we can inspire younger generations to become more active participants in our election process. These efforts will foster early civic engagement and encourage a lifelong commitment to voting. Fair and transparent elections are the bedrock of our democracy. I understand the importance of every voice being heard and every vote counted. To ensure election integrity, I would propose transparency tours so that the public can come in and have a behind-the-scenes look at the election process and the improvements. Our office must also adapt to new laws and manage a tight budget. I plan to streamline operations, enhance technology, and build a versatile team. For example, we can conduct our own logic and accuracy test and run elections internally, reducing reliance on external support. Additionally, by performing minimal repairs and maintaining our equipment in-house, we can control costs without compromising quality. I would like to ask something to each of you who go out on election day. Please remember to thank our dedicated poll workers. Without them, elections would not be possible. I would also like to say thank you to all the candidates running this year. This is democracy in action. I encourage you to research, ask questions, and most importantly, get out and vote. I'm excited to embark on this journey with you, and I will work tirelessly to earn your trust and support. Thank you for your time and your consideration, and I look forward to meeting each of you and answering any questions that you may have. God bless.
Thanks, Jessica. Over to you, Diane. You're recognized for introductory remarks.
May the work I've done speak for me. May the work I have already done speak for me. I have been involved in Hardee County, not recently, but for my whole life. I have worked in Hardee County. I have been fair in Hardee County. I do not favor party affiliation, nor do I favor friendships, social statuses in Hardee County. I have raised my children here in Hardee County. My grandchildren have been raised here in Hardee County. Each of you are very special to me. Each one of your vote will be very special to me. In voting for me, you will be voting for integrity, experience without lapse of time. You will be voting for honesty. You will be voting for a Christian, impartial person, and also a person of proven work ethics. I have, since I have been Supervisor of Elections, I have had the first state historical recount that was perfect, a Hardee County recount that was perfect, due to not only wonderful election workers, but also due to staff also. I have also relocation where we have now moved to. There is a window for transparency. I requested that window be put in so that people can see the upload process take place, because so many people do not understand. A lot of people think that it takes place at the precincts. It does not. I have also been the one to post precinct signs at all of the precincts so that people would know where to go and vote at. I made you all aware of Senate Bill 90 when it changed that you had to either produce driver's license or the last 4 digits of the Social Security number. I sent out letters to voters. I incorporated the evict machines for faster checkout before it was mandated by the state. I updated security at the office. I invite candidates to poll worker training so that they can better understand. I ask you to vote for me. I love you, and I would appreciate each one of your votes.
Thank you very much. Question for you. What partnerships will you seek to enhance voter engagement and participation, including young voters or underrepresented voters?
Thank you for asking me that. I have every opportunity that we have. I do voter outreach. I have done voter outreach at the nursing homes, at the high school, at the college, at the nursing home. I may have already said that. Even when I have even been to the stadium. We have young people that has come in to work at our office. One person who even farthered that to go and work in DC. So I do encourage young people to work with us.
Very good, thank you. Next question, let's talk about individuals who have had their right to vote restored. What are you doing to help ensure that they're aware of that eligibility to vote?
The state of Florida is the one who actually, the Supervisor of Elections office has not given that information of a person's eligibility to vote that has been restored. That is something when they apply to register to vote. If the state of Florida grants that, then they are eligible to vote.
Thank you. Any closing comments?
Nothing except that I would appreciate each of your votes. I love each of you equally, not determined by party affiliation.
Thank you. You can finish with that. Just go ahead.
Okay, not determined by party affiliation, not determined by social status, not determined by race. Each one of you is important. Let no one tell you in November that you cannot vote for me. The Supervisor of Elections office is non-partisan. Remember that when you go and vote in November. Let nobody tell you you can't vote for me. You can.
Thank you very much. That is a great reminder. You've got 2 elections coming up, August and November, so make sure that you add both to your calendar. All right, over to you, same questions. What partnerships, Jessica, will you seek to enhance voter engagement and participation, and specifically some of those underrepresented or young voters?
I would love to go into the schools. Something that they did in Polk County that I really liked was they started going into like the elementary and the middle and the high schools. And they would do age-appropriate activities to get the kids involved. And some of the things that they did was, you know, small kids don't really understand voting, but they would take in ballots and have them, you know, vote if you like pizza or chicken nuggets, and have each child stand up and do a little debate. And then at the end of it, give the kids an opportunity to vote. I think things like that would be really great to go into the schools to get the kids to understand the importance of their voice. I would also really like to bring back the vote for a veteran, where my father-in-law, who was the supervisor from 2005 to 2015, he invited local military, the people, the families, to bring in biographies about the veterans, so that when younger people would come in, they would have a picture on the wall to look at and a biography of a real person who fought for their right to vote. I think that's really important to keep at the forefront. So,
very good. What measures will you take to ensure that individuals who have had their rights restored are aware of their eligibility to vote?
So each supervisor's office, we receive, you know, anytime that there's anyone who has Was that for my first question?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Keep going.
okay. I was like, dang. So they send out letters, but anyone who has not committed murder or a sexual offense, as long as they can bring in all of the documentation that they have either completed their probation or their sentence, they can bring into the office, and then we can help them go through the process of having their vote or having their right to vote restored.
Thank you. Any closing comments?
I just want to tell everybody, to pray and ask God to guide you with how you vote. And I'm very thankful to be here. This has been a great experience. So thank you.
Thank you to both of you ladies for reading the candidates for Supervisor of Elections. All right, we are cruising to get you out of here before dark. But we want to hear from our candidates for Superintendent of Schools next. So with that, I'm going to invite Sonja Bennett to join me. And then we will hear from Bob Shayman. Sonja, the floor is yours.
Good evening, I'm Sonja Bennett. It's a privilege to introduce myself as candidate for Superintendent of Hardee District Schools. My educational journey in Hardee County actually began over 50 years ago when I entered the halls of Bowling Green Elementary as a student. I had the privilege of returning to Bowling Green Elementary and starting my professional career in education right there in the same halls that I sat as a student several years earlier. During my initial tenure in education, my goal was to support the academic and emotional growth of students, and then I served at elementary, middle, and high, and then I moved into administration. My first assignment as an administrator was as the assistant principal at Hardee Junior High, kind of a baptism by fire, if you will. Some of you have been at the junior high. But I will say that my team, collectively together, and the staff at Hardee Junior High was honored in helping our staff move to the first B ever at Hardee Junior High. So it was really a fun time to celebrate our staff and their accomplishments. And during my time at Hardee Junior High as the assistant principal, I really learned the power and the importance of focused goals to move student achievement. I was then given the task of leading North Wauchula Elementary over the next 4 years, champions by choice. Some of those of you in the audience remember that slogan. And you remember it because for 4 years, we chose to be champions, and we had 3 years back to back to back of a school grade of an A. And it was North Wauchula Elementary that I credit learning really the importance of a strong morale, and where I learned the power and the power of a positive school environment in leading and moving academic success. For the next 10 years, I sat as principal at Wauchula Elementary, where I was fortunate enough to have the same success as I did previously. And I don't credit myself for that. I credit, again, a strong team. And at Wauchula Elementary, I was able to move our school with the staff and the administrative team to earn a high school grade rating of an A or a B for 7 out of those 10 years. I'm now the director of the Florida Diagnostic and Learning Resources System, where I work with Glades, DeSoto, Hendry, and Highland schools, helping them navigate state and federal laws on IDEA and students with disabilities. We provide technical assistance, professional development, and really moving their teachers forward and knowing how to work with those students. I can tell you that those are a lot of lists of accomplishments and experiences. You never give me the microphone. My staff knows that. But I can tell you that more than those jobs and duties, it's really my leadership style that helped to move our schools forward. I'm a positive and encouraging leader, and I really believe and recognize the power of our people, and I can put key people in place to move the organization forward. And I think that is really truly where my gift lies. And I think that the Hardee County school system needs that that style of leadership now more than ever as we face the many challenges that we see ahead in public education. I was born and raised here. This is my community. This is my home. I love this community. It's where I fell in love. It's where I raised kids. It's where I went to school. And I want to come back here and create those same environments for our families of the Hardee County school system and move our teachers and staff forward. Thank you. I hope that you will consider voting leadership that listens on August the 20th.
Thank you. You're good. You're good. You're job and trouble. If you want to sit tight, you are welcome to while we invite Bob out. As the mother of a now middle schooler, I like to say there's a special place in heaven for middle school teachers and administrators.
True.
Come on out. Bob, you've got a microphone and you're recognized for him.
Can you hear me? There we go. All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. I am Bob Shayman, seeking re-election for Superintendent of Schools, and I'm currently finishing my 8th year, my 2nd term. I have started 3 weeks ago my 46th year in education. It went like that. I remember my first day of school as a teacher, and here I am 46 years later. I have 23 years experience in the classroom, elementary, junior high school, college, and I have now, this is my 23rd year as an administrator, elementary level, high school, deputy superintendent, now superintendent of schools. In 2020, I was the first superintendent to go into office in Hardee County unopposed. I was hoping it was because the great work we did as a team. But I realized in the middle of COVID, we were shut down and nobody really wanted my job. I was thankful that we had this opportunity. We had 9 days to turn the school district into a virtual system, where we still went out to the homes, we went out to the community, but we still had to educate all of our students. I've learned over the years, it is not about the school buildings, it's not textbooks. It's about the people and the relationships. And when I sit in a leadership meeting or I go out to a school and I see all the people that either I taught or Mrs. Shayman taught over the years, it's different here than anywhere else because of the relationships. I was in a class last year in 8th grade, and you get a special warm feeling when you realize you're talking to a student, and we both had taught the parents, and then we realized we both had taught the grandparents. It means you've been around for a while. What we do here is special. We had new teacher orientation this morning, and again, it's about the relationships we build. But also, it's the work we do. I've learned over the years, and we just got back from a superintendent training. And I've observed over the years that there are talkers, there are dreamers, and there are doers. And I feel like I'm a doer. Right now, my eye and ear is in the storm that might be coming this way. And our family, including the dog, we have little go bags. Unlike my colleagues, that a lot of them they have a standing hotel reservation when the hurricane's coming or they're at home. We pack up, we're in the coach's office at junior high, we're working, we're serving food, we're prepping food, we're cleaning restrooms, and if you ever come to our shelter, you know who your friends are because people do not bring toilet paper, they have to come to us. Those are the things that we do. 10 years ago, we realized teacher shortage is getting really severe. So we got a grant, we packed up, we developed a team, and we got on the road, and we traveled the country. I did not say the team. The Shaymans were with the team directing. I'm out of time.
Thank you. I've got some great questions for you.
Okay.
But that's a good reminder. If you find yourself going to a shelter in one of these upcoming storms and you prefer to fly, bring it with you. As superintendent, how would you collaborate with the business community and economic development organizations to benefit our educational as well as workforce systems?
And we do that now. We'd like to extend that as much as possible. Some of our biggest benefactors and business partners. They work with us, and it's not just the funding, it's not just the money, it's the involvement with our students. We cannot do it alone. We need the parents, but we need the community support. So we work with everybody we can, and to get our kids involved, and also to get them involved in looking at their future, what their possibilities can be, what their careers can be, what their lives can be. And we want them to stay here and remain in the community.
Good answer. Next question. The recently released school rating report showed an increase in one Hardee County school's grade. As a candidate, what steps can the district take to foster further growth and improvement of our current student achievements?
Just prior to COVID, we looked at all our data. When I took over for years, our graduation rate was mired in the mid-50s. We got to 91.4%. Last year, we were at 80%. Like every other district across the state and the country, we're trying to make a comeback from COVID. And so we have large steps to take, and it's not all about funding. Declining enrollment has been an issue. ESSER funds, the federal funding, has now disappeared as of September 30th. So we have taken some steps, and we think we're starting to make a comeback. Test scores that came out this week, we finished second in the region, in the Heartland region, so that's promising. But again, just prior to COVID, we had reached a level of B district for the first time in the history of the district. 3 of the schools out of the 7 were B schools. We made a lot of progress. So my platform right now is we have unfinished business. That's the reason I want to come back for one more term with my team to keep moving forward.
Thank you, Superintendent. Closing remarks, or that's it? Mic drop.
I got one. Okay. Unlike all the candidates I've seen, I wasn't born and raised here. But I went to Georgia, taught 2 years, and met an English teacher. 3 months later, we were here, and we decided to come for 1 year. It's been 43. It's the best thing we ever did. We have 2 daughters, and they started at North Wauchula Elementary with Judy Wadsworth's kindergarten class. And part of their success, a big part, was the Hardee County school system and all the great teachers they had. And told very often, I can't call them Valerie and Carla, it's Dr. Valerie and Dr. Carla.
Thank you very much. Oh, we'll do questions right over here. All right, same questions to you, Sonja. As superintendent, how would you collaborate with the business community, with the economic development community to benefit our educational as well as workforce organizations?
Yeah, I do think we have an incredibly positive relationship with our community, and it is really the key to some of our success as well, because they fill in the gaps and the holes for projects and events that we just can't do alone. But one of the things that I've noticed over the years is we often have a hand out to the community, but not always a hand up to the community. And what I mean by that is we ask so much of our community in giving to us in the school system. What I would like to see our school system do is reciprocate those efforts. No, we can't give funds. No, we can't give certain things. But I question, can we have the pre-K teachers around the district that are running daycares? Can we allow them to sit in on professional development days? Can we go to their centers and help teach them how to instruct students? Can we do other things with our community where it is somewhat of a quid pro quo relationship? So I would like to continue the relationship with the community, and I would also like to really sit down with the Economic Development Council and other business leaders in our community and create a strategic plan moving forward. Because what we do today will not only have an impact on next year, but it's going to have an impact in our school system for years to come. One of the things that I will do is I'm going to implement a district advisory council for just that reason, where we have community members come in and help us problem solve issues and problems that we're facing, or at least hear from them and know what their needs are so we can continue to meet their needs and they can continue to support us.
Great, thank you. Follow-up question, talking about the school rating report and progress there. What steps can the district take to continue that momentum to further growth and improvement in our student achievements?
Yes, so when I was here as an administrator for 17 years, It was not uncommon for us to have 2 and 3 school grades of A's. This last school grading report card showed that Hilltop Elementary, congratulations Hilltop, that's here with us today, they earned a school grade of B, and the others earned a school grade of C. I know exactly how demoralizing and difficult that hits your heart when you've worked so hard all year. So as a leader, one of my strengths was data disaggregation and setting goals for our individual grade levels, individual teachers, and individual students. So that's first and foremost. We've got to bring back some of those data elements where we can really target specific groups to help move us forward and ensure that our schools are performing and receiving the grades that they worked so hard to earn. Mr. Shayman indicated that our graduation rate has been declining. We started at 91%, then moved to 88%, moved down to 85%, and this past year we were at 81%. So I think that we have to reevaluate and tweak some of the things we're doing because we don't want to continue this downward trend. Our students deserve better, and our staff deserve the accolades that come with success, and success breeds success. So in the last second that I have, you might want to ask me that question again because I think I got off topic.
That's typical politician. Just kidding. Thank you very much.
I love education. I love data. And I love student achievement, so I get a little excited about that, and I may have moved off topic.
This is her booth afterwards, and she loves to keep talking. Thank you very much. Your candidates for Superintendent of Schools.
And thank you for this opportunity. I hope that you'll vote leadership that listens on August the 20th.
All right, we are moving to our final race for the evening. These are 2 gentlemen who need no introduction and who both pack heat. So I will tread lightly. We have running for Hardee County Sheriff Arnold, Lanier, and Ben Crawford. And I'm going to invite Arnold to come first. Yes, sir. You were recognized for introduction. And then somebody else is like.
Good evening. I would like to thank the Chamber for hosting this event and affording each citizen more insight into the candidates that will be serving you, the people of Hardee County, for the next several years. I am Arnold Lanier, former sheriff of Hardee County for 12 years. Like one of my brother-in-laws told me, I simply took a sabbatical from being sheriff, and now I'm back. During the time after my retirement, I was honored to take care of my mother and her estate before she passed away a few years ago at the age of 93. I am a 4th generation Hardee County and have lived here all my life. Tonight I stand here tonight with you with a deep sense of purpose and commitment. I believe I am the best qualified candidate to serve you as sheriff. Since 1979, I've had the privilege and the honor of protecting and serving the people of Hardee County in law enforcement. From a road deputy to a detective to a sheriff, I've gained knowledge and experience in positions and rankings along the way. While serving as your sheriff, I was able to accomplish many things. To mention a few, we upgraded our radio system to allow Hardee County to dispatch our own fire, EMS, and emergencies. We prioritized, designed, and built a state-of-the-art dispatch center and an off-site dispatch center. We ensured the funding, training, and established a school resource officer in all Hardee County schools by collaborating with the school board. We implemented the Teen Driving Challenge to bring awareness to and protect our kids through the importance of defensive driving. We increased members of the Drug Task Force and funded and built an off-site Drug Task Force office. Many challenges and changes were faced along the way, but together we overcame and continue to build a bright future for Hardee County. If elected, I promise to you, as sheriff, we will restore a dedicated drug task force. As your sheriff, we will restore morale, confidence, and integrity. Trust in law enforcement is the heart of a safe and prosperous community. As your sheriff, we will work diligently to ensure that our sheriff's office operates with the highest standard of honesty, integrity, transparency, and accountability. As your sheriff, I promise to serve and protect you, the people of Hardee County, and I know that together we can do this and make a difference. I ask for your support and vote on August the 20th to come back and serve you as sheriff for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chamber, for putting this on tonight, and thank Senator Arnold also for being a major sponsor. I've been honored to serve as your sheriff for the past 3.5 years. I was born and raised, attended school in Hardee County. I attended South Florida State College, earning my AA degree, and later attending USF, earning my bachelor's in criminal justice. I married Teresa McKenzie in 1985, and we returned to Hardee County. On patrol, on the highway patrol, I served as a trooper, a homicide sergeant, a district lieutenant, a lieutenant over evidence, a lieutenant over training, and managed over 200 law enforcement officers in 6 evidence rooms. And I was a lieutenant over the communications center, also in Fort Myers. I was a member of the original accreditation team of the Florida Highway Patrol and wrote policy consistent with professional standards. I have over 10,000 hours of law enforcement training that I've taught, taken, or coordinated. My wife, Dr. Teresa Crawford, and I have one daughter, Kaylin, who is married to Dr. Dustin Walton, and they have 2 children, Winley Kate and Crawford. My wife and I have both been involved in the community for years. I started volunteering for Hardee County at age 16. I was a volunteer Wachula fireman. Wasn't even firefighters back then. It's a long time ago. I serve on the United Way Board, and I'm a HCSD commissioner overseeing accreditation for detention in the state. We need to look at accomplishments. What have we done? In 3.5 years, we put out the first strategic plan. In 4 years or 3.5 years that followed, we've checked every check mark off of the 5 different things. And my annual report, which we put out the first, second, and third first ever annual reports in 21, 22, and 23. Shows the accomplishments, the transparency of the Hardee County Sheriff's Office. We have placed a body-worn camera on every deputy. We've instilled community-oriented policing. Colonel Roberts is actually Dr. Roberts also, and his dissertation was in community-oriented policing. Colonel Roberts is the undersheriff. We formed a professional standards division. It's one of those things that has HR and professional standards to help our deputies out in time of need. We've put out license plate readers.
All right, we're good. You mentioned service on the United Way Board. I also serve with the sheriff on the board of United Way of Central Florida, and it was mentioned in the bio that I live in Polk County. And every year, United Way invites all 3 sheriff's offices, Polk, Highlands, and Hardee, to come and participate in their clay shoot. And every year, Hardee County wins. And I don't know why we keep inviting them, but there you go. You should feel very confident in that. Now let's talk about the budget. As a candidate for sheriff, public safety constitutes a big part of the county's budget each year. How will you ensure that the sheriff's office allocates limited tax dollars effectively and for this and other important programs and initiatives?
As far as the budget, the Hardee County Sheriff's Office budget is lean. Public safety is essential in any community to ensure quality of life is addressed, our citizens and children are safe, and our rights, individual rights, are protected. In the past 3 years, we have instituted, seeking through the Florida Sheriff's Association a grant, and it's the LISA grant. It's the Law Enforcement Salary Assistance Grant. And in the past 3 years, we've been successful in getting that, and it has come out to about $1 million. We've also have placed in grant applications and received from the state and federal monies of $1 million. In the past 3 years, our budget and our revenues from the Hardee County Sheriff's Office budget at the end of the year, we have given the county back a total of $3 million in 3 years. We don't shy away from going out working for these grant opportunities. We've got 3 or 4 more, 7 more pending right now that we work hard on getting extra money to be able to initiate things like a Milo firearm simulator, and it's part of our training. We've also have monies for our Teen Driving Challenge that we've had 9 different Teen Driving Challenge schools this year. The issue of money will always be a part here in Hardee County due to the fact that we're rural. But for grants like the LISA grant, it's for rural deputies' pay increases, and we took advantage of that.
Thank you. As Sheriff, what has been the priority of your administration? How has it proven effective, and what will be your primary focus and priority moving forward?
Well, our priorities basically in the past 4 years have been professionalism and transparency through our strategic plan while we're lowering the crime rate. It's a situation where the professionalism part of it, we tried to go ahead and had a strategic plan to go ahead and change the unprofessionalism that was present into a more professional office. We started annual evaluations and quarterly evaluations. Quarterly evaluations were for our new people to go ahead and every 3 months coach them in a direction to be professional, know what is doing wrong, and of course, praise them for what they're doing right. And for thereafter was the annual evaluations. They were not present. We went ahead and made that a possibility. We've opened up tuition for all of our employees. And this is upfront tuition. If you want higher education, a smarter office is a better office. A smarter, educated community is a better community. So we went ahead and instilled that. Our leadership staff, there's leadership schools, and via grants we have sent the majority of our leadership staff to executive leadership training, either in Tallahassee or in Polk County's NIA. In 2023, just last year, February 2023, one of the biggest accomplishments of my stance thus far was getting accredited for in detention. It's one of those things where it makes me very proud. It's one of the things that I said. It was a goal that I set, and that's something that I wanted to make happen. And we are accredited in our jail as of February 2023. Just last month, I signed a contract through the Law Enforcement Accreditation (CFA), and we're actually on the process now to get accredited on the law enforcement side. or transparency. Annual reports. We put out an annual report every year to go ahead and show anybody and put it on the website that you can look at it and call us. We're there to go ahead and be transparent. The Citizens Academy. I want y'all to know right now we're running Class 4 right now, and they're in session. Social media advances. We have really upped our social media, and believe it or not, your sheriff's office has been seen 3.5 million times. So it's a big thing. Use of our app and citizen surveys is also something that we want to be transparent and get feedback from the people we come in contact with out there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Mr. Lanier, back to you on budget. Public safety budget being a big part of the county's budget. How will you ensure that the sheriff's office allocates limited tax dollars effectively for important programs and initiatives?
Well, you know, as working with the budgets in many years, the biggest part of your budget is salaries. And we got to maintain staffing, proper staffing, well-trained, qualified personnel. And we got to stay in tune with the other agencies that are around us and compare what their salaries are to the same size county as ours, compatible, and try to maintain that and maintain good, working, well-trained deputies in the county. So we have to keep an eye on that. We've got the salary up, I think, to about a little over $49,000. And it's going to be difficult. Time you got a deputy making $49,000, and your upper staff has to be paid a little more. So we have to constantly look at that budget and look at staffing and things of that nature.
Very good. As a candidate for sheriff, what would your administration's priority be?
My priority today is to reestablish a drug task force. We did well with the drug task force years ago. There's a drug problem in our county. There has been, and in our nation. And with the opioids and with the fentanyl coming into our counties, we need to stay on top of this drugs that's coming in and out of our counties. And with the drug task force, we maintained that. We stayed on top of it. We had a member that was with the Drug Enforcement Administration with the state, so we knew what was going on when it come through our county. We were there, we were on top of it, and we made the proper decisions and arrests and whatever it took at that time. And that's my longest and best prioritization that I would like to do.
Thank you very much. Any closing remarks?
I want to thank everyone who come tonight, and I want to thank and appreciate your vote on August the 20th. And we're back here to serve you, and we're open to any ideas and suggestions that you may have. And you can call me anytime. Thank you.
Thanks to both of you gentlemen, your candidates for sheriff. Tonight, a lot of echoing sentiments about housing, about infrastructure, about the importance of education for our children. And you also heard a lot about the sense of community that makes Hardee County so special. And so I want to thank you all for coming out in this questionable weather, for caring, for being here. Parting thoughts, be educated about your candidates, be kind, and don't forget to vote. Thank you very much.
Let's give Kelly a round of applause. Thank you very much for moderating that. I know the 9 o'clock scared some of you guys, and we got you out of here a lot earlier than we anticipated. So thank you again for all of you guys being here tonight. Thank you for the candidates. It takes a wonderful public service like you guys to make our community great. We just appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Also like to remind you that early voting opens on August 8th till the 17th. The election day is, primary election is August 20th. So get out there and vote. We appreciate it. There's 7 ballots in the bag. Make sure you grab some extra food. Spend a few minutes with the candidates if you got any other questions. And thank you guys again for coming out here.